Hey everybody, so welcome to the Strat Attack, where we're going to go after what you should go after. So to start the week, SPY did gap down on Tuesday. So you got the 2-2 on Monday, simultaneous daily reversal across every index, and then the continuation of that by going 2 down again. Now the question is, yes, it closed green. Everything's going to look good when it does that, but does it hold that and go 2-2 tomorrow? If it does, we reclaim last week's lows, and you'd go back into this daily try. We're nowhere near taking the highs out, but the range would be to go and do that. So we'll definitely want to pay attention to that. At this point, we're still week coupled to the quarter, coupled to the month. We will have the separate daily open and 60 opens, and that's it. So less information this week. Just be aware of that. We do have Powell speaking tomorrow, so that should give us some good things. And the question becomes is, you go on the 60 here, draw out your 60 try so you can gauge your magnitude. So before it looks something like this. You can see the 3-2 expansion down, does not come back into the 3, continues down. Now they make the new low. So either we 2-2 up tomorrow, or we come back into this pivot machine gun on the 60 and take all these guys out in one go. So if they do that, you're back to 2 down day and you're back to a red week and in force. And that'd be the same for most of the indexes. So that's what we'll want to know about tomorrow. Dow Jones, a little bit of a hammer as well, but too weak to take out the morning highs with the little shooter 60 to the end of the day. Inside week down, still in force. But IWM, this was the weakest one we could find yesterday, and we mentioned what? If that starts coming back into this 3, you got some issues, right? Back below 208.95. So takes this stuff out. Now, on the year, no longer in force, so it's a nothing. And if we go to the quarter, what do we talk about in the macro? 205.49. So anytime you're below that, that's something you want to know about. So this one is still going to be the weakest in our eyes. We'll see if that stays the case or not. And if they're really going to puke this stuff, we'll have triangle layouts to get in. So as far as daily actionable signals go, there's a chance tomorrow we poke up, but fail to do anything, and then give us the 2-2-2 shotgun. And that would be, if we're going to really send them home, something like that's what we'd want to look for. And Qs also was relatively weak, but recovered. It was one of the first ones to go green this morning, or afternoon, my bad. And it is a 3 on the week. So once a 3, always a 3. The question is your try looks like this. So notice how they tap it. Are they back into it tomorrow, or do they 3-2-2 the 60 for the 1-3-2-2 and then PMG to tap it, retest, and then continue? So that's going to be our question with the indexes tomorrow. As far as what we know to be true, on the upside, everything we talked about is true. So we said go after gold, go after energies, and then maybe some materials. So if we go and take a look, gold, you'll see the gap up. They stop out the morning guys. So anyone that was long, they're out. And we actually did mention to buy that gap up, and we mentioned on the 60 flip, take some profit. 2260 here, triggered at 209.24, back through a previous range that was red, with full time frame continuity above the daily open and above the 60 open. And we stopped out the morning guys so they can buy again. And this is something we talked about with the 30 inside bar to trigger it. And the reason we look for that is because you want to see on a gap up buy, willingness to buy. So the buyers came in here and they bought. They stop those guys out, and then they have to buy again. And that's what gives you the try. And we have a stream clip that I can throw in here quickly, and I'll show you guys just that. You do have the 30 into the 60 breaking, so you may see the materials perk up again. If we go to the miners, 2-2's back up. JNUG, GDX, no RGLD, and no WPMs. So you can see there, that's pretty much the last thing we talked about at the end of the stream, but they did make the new highs later in the day, and we'll want to see if those can keep going. And we'll see JNUG did not make the new highs, but still 2-2 continuing and got the quarter in force hammer. So just got to give them time, see if they come back for more. And same can be said for the miners, RGLD. 2 down, but a 2-2-2 could get you going tomorrow if they're going to really get in there and get the gold moving. If we go to WPM, that one did eventually get going later in the day, but there's your momentum hammer here above that. You can see, as long as that's nice and green on the day, they stayed above that. They held that level all day. So trying to get the quarter up, 49.65. Just got to see if we can do it. By Monday, came back for more. And what we also said was energies. PSX was one of the ones where you're like, that looks good. Boom. So energies, they're up. If we go to Oxy, took out the yearly highs this morning. And then what we said is, now that you've done that, we're going to need some triangle out. This is an example of that. First 30 buy, they come back in. Notice this is what a triangle out is. Same thing that gold did. They buy in the morning. Everyone's long. You stop those guys out, creating short positions to trade against. 230s here takes you up. Then the slight 2 down, 3. So going into tomorrow, we'll see if that's going to keep following through to take you 2 up again and get the year in force again. If they're going to triangle out any bigger, they would take this 2 day down tomorrow. But we really want to see the energies just keep going. If we go to other strong energies, CPG there, 2 quarter, trying to take the year inside and up. TTE is inside and up quarter, inside and up week, 2 up, 2 up, bright green. You'll have WFRD also bright green to start the week with the 3-2 expansion quarter, and all the other ones that we normally talk about. MRO, that one went 2 up as well with the quarter in force. You'll have PXD with the year in up in force above 257. They came back for more. And we can go CVX. That one did go 2 up today. Still a little weaker than the rest of them, lagging, but it is a 2-2 quarter. XOM, much closer to its outside year with the 2-2 quarter in force. They came back for more on Tuesday. And if we go on the year, what do we talk about above 100.92 towards the end of 2 months ago and the beginning of last month? Well, that's a buy. Where's it going? Up there, right? So that's what we said. And if you're a swinger, look at this. Get outside of this try, like we said, and then good things happen. Boom. We talked about it here. So you guys should be in the energies. We've been screaming it from the rooftops pretty much past month and a couple weeks or so. So that's really good. We're going to continue to look for that. OIH did create another momentum hammer. And if you're holding the 340s from prior, and I actually don't know what they're at, so I'll check right now. Give me a segundo. So those are up about 83% as of the close, and then we'd like to see that keep going. And if we go to crude oil here, looks like they are doing some profit taking coming into the 3rd day of the week here, but it's still a 2 up. So we're going to consider that corrective. They may do some triangle out action on the 60, but it's just the day and 60 participants. So it's going to be hard to change that week around. That year it's bright green. So we're still looking to take that up. And then the quarter from the macro, inside and up, still above 83.21. So as long as that stays the case, I would like to see them keep doing that. We may get some triangle out in here since you can see they've just been going up since the RevStrat day, but we'd like to see them keep doing their thing. We do have energy numbers coming out Wednesday morning at 9:30, second 60 flip of the day. So that is something you can monitor intraday, and if you're a gapper trader or an intraday trader, go and watch for those 30-60 setups on that flip. Outside of that, since that's really like the most, or where the most things are rallying, I want to show you guys that quick, just so you guys can get the visual again. So you'll see this. So notice the energies. Is it obvious here, given our signals and our scans? Yeah, absolutely. And before I keep going, I get a lot of questions. Everyone wants these, and it is free. We give everything to you guys for free for the most part. So if you're looking for it, you're going to want to join the Discord. stratalerts.com/discord for the invite. You can check the description for that. Or what you can do, go into the Scripts and Scans channel under the free side of the house, where you have the free trading side, and you'll see you have the signals and the setups column, and that's all I'm using here. So very big concentration energies while the market pukes. That's something we'll want to know. Going into tomorrow, as far as setups go, industrials here look like they're going to have the most setups that are going to potentially simultaneous break. A lot of 3-2-2s in here. CAT is specifically what I'd be looking at. And if you go in BLD, there's a 3-2-2 potentially in there. If we go down in here, you'll have inside MU, inside Goog, And really, that's all I want you guys to be on as far as going to tomorrow. And we want to stick to where the concentration is. So like we said with those indexes, depending on if those 2-2 or not, we want to know who's taking yesterday's highs and see who's actually recovering this move. Going into tomorrow in the energies, you also have Hammer Rig, you'll have Hammer IMO, and Fang Hammer, and you'll have OVV Hammer, and you will have PAA Hammer. You can see here on the day on all of those. So we'll continue to look for that to keep going. And as far as the downside goes, I would like to call this the white girl stocks. Lulu, Nike, Starbucks, and Etsy. All of those have gone 2 down to start the week and are taking last quarter's lows. So when we say that, you should know Lulu from the quarterly list. 2 down to start the week, inside quarter down. So we're going to look for follow through and new signals to form there for us. Going into tomorrow, they have an inside 60 for the open. Nike, you had slight corrective 60, potential 2-2s back down to keep it going. 2 down with the inside weekend down, trying to take the year down along with Starbucks. This is something we mentioned going into the weekend. Stat trading in the chat is one of the few trades I mentioned. If you go here, you'll see this here. And this is something I want to touch on really quick. So Starbucks right at 922 yesterday, I said day triggers down. So there's a daily trigger and then into week, into quarter, into year. So that's a good thing because the day 2-2 reversal, if that reconfirms Tuesday, which it did right here, you can peek through all these pivots here, trigger the weekly guys, the quarterly guys, and then potentially the yearly guys if we just drop another 20 cents tomorrow. So the way that we can find that, and this is why we believe that stat trading is really useful, is because we have this. And this is what I do on Mondays when I'm not streaming. I sit in bed, and I know it sounds really lazy, but I sit in bed, and what I do is I go into our stocks daily channel. And I have this alert set up on my phone. So on my phone, it'll tag me anytime a daily signal goes in force. And then what I look for is just what tickers are doing that we know about. Because when Starbucks did that, I was like, did we talk about that on the macro video? We did. So I'm going to take my short entry. And there's more than just Starbucks, but I got up a little late and this is what I saw happen. And I was like, perfect, we'll do that. So got to do that going into today. And this is extremely useful if you're going to be trading the strat and you can't sit and watch the screens. That's what we made this for. We have the daily through the quarterly, yearly, monthly, weekly 60 signals. So you can do that. And even if you're just an index trader, we do have some index and sector specific alerts where you can look for simultaneous breaks. Some of those guys in there saw there's like 3 sectors that reversed on the third 60 of the day. So they went and they just bought long ES because they saw some of the sectors reversed. Then it went up. You can see 2 up, 1, 2 up, 2 up on the 60. So that is, or there's many ways to use that, but it's very, very useful. And I highly suggest checking it out if that's something you're interested in. We also have a bots package that is like $40 a month where you don't have to pay for any of the other stuff if that's what you want to do. So that being said, though, white girl stocks to the downside. The other thing we did notice today was UNH, which they did 3 to the 60s back their previous range. So no shorts to take in the afternoon part of it, but we'll see if they recover or if they stay down. Humana was the one we got to trade off the open. And this is where the green to red move, beautiful. You can see initially they go green on the gap down. It's a kicking pattern, yes, right? So attempting to buy. And on a gap down, this is how we get short. The second that flips red here, get short. And we pointed that out this morning. I'll show you guys that here. Humana green to red on the day here, under 315.34. Kicker in force, you could say. Big gap. So either this gets moving outside of that morning range or it doesn't. If it doesn't, don't stick around. Humana, did we talk about that? Boom. Get them. Right there, green to red. Below 315, drops $9. Did we say we wanted to trade today? We did. So I'm just showing you guys that type of stuff so you can see what we're saying intraday because that's what we're doing. So in that case, you'll see here on Humana, if you got that, what we say with the gappers, if you watch my gapper video, you want to fight to stay in trades, because if a gap sells, the institutions are in there and they're doing something. So going into tomorrow, you can have some winning position and just continue to hold that. And what we'll then look for is, can they come back and sell again? Because this yearly, this is something we talked about pre-market with Humana, 3-3, you're back into the three. So where's it going? Down there, 208. And anytime this month is a 2 down, bright red, with the week 2 down and bright red, and the days at 2 down bright red, that's something you want to trade. So we're going to look to do that and see if that's going to keep staying weak. XLVs did hammer a bit, so any XLVs going 2-2 tomorrow, we can definitely know about. Here's your big old try. And what we'll monitor then is, if we go into the healthcares, which ones hammered or stayed inside, because those are going to be the stronger ones of the bunch after they got really hurt today. So if we see any recovery, they'll have to be a 2 to the upside tomorrow. So if I go in there, 2 down in green, we'll have ABT, so a little stronger than the rest. DXCM, a little stronger than the rest. With the PMG, you will have CAH inside. So either side of that's either going to confirm the rally or the puke or negate it. If we go to ABV, you'll have the 2 down in green going into tomorrow, and you'll have a big concentration in J&J, potential 2-2, LOY, potential 2-2 back through the daily range, MRK, potential 2-2, NVO, potential 2-2, and that would negate the week. For Rev Strat, you'd have DHR, potential 2-2 hammer. Notice the daily trend here. You can see the poke up, poke down, hammer. So potentially up there if they really get going. ILMN, potentially, skip, TMO, potentially 2-2 hammer. So we'll monitor that stuff to see if that's going to negate. Well, there's a decent concentration there, and there's going to be a lot more than just that, but I don't want to load you guys up with too many things. But that being said, that's what we did, and that's what we're going to look for going into the rest of the week. The only other thing we can take a look at is some relative strength in the chips. QCOM inside day, MU inside day, with a lot of call flow, according to Tom, who watches that stuff, and Marvel inside day. So if the chips recover, or the ones that are already strong keep going, that is something you can do if we see SMH's 2-2 back up. And Intel, we did mention the 2-2 date down. If that 2-2's tomorrow, we just cut it. And what you could do is actually hammer counter shooter, try and take it long if we see a simultaneous break in the chips. But that's what we're going to be looking for tomorrow. Give us a simultaneous breaks. If it's 2-2s back up, we'll get after the things inside up first. Those will be the first in force. And then second to that, it'll be any 2-2s back up and anything 2-up continuation for the strat attack. So that's going to be it. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning.